Welcome back today. We've got these incredibly valuable and interesting coins to discuss, all of which carry immense historical significance and significant collector interest in the market. These coins are not only a great part of American numismatic history, but also a real treasure for collectors who appreciate the stories behind these pieces. First up, the 1940 Abraham Lincoln. Wheat 1 cent with S mint. Mark and circulated, dirty condition. The 1940 Lincoln wheat. Penny with an S mint mark is one of those coins that may seem simple at first glance but holds a deep historical and numismatic significance. It's part of the iconic Lincoln Wheat Cent series, which was issued from 1909 to 1958. The design of the Lincoln Wheat penny, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner, is a masterpiece of early 20th century American coinage. It features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, with the reverse depicting two sheaves of wheat, symbolizing the nation's agricultural prosperity. The 1940 edition of the Lincoln Wheat penny is a particularly notable coin within the series. Despite being circulated in great numbers, it remains highly coveted in the collector's market, particularly when it features unique conditions or specific mint marks. The S mint mark on this penny indicates that it was produced at the San Francisco Mint, which adds to its desirability. Although the coin in question is in a dirty and circulated state, it doesn't diminish its value as much as one might think. Coins in less than perfect conditions are often still highly sought after by collectors, especially when they come from a historically significant year or mint. The historical context behind the 1940 Lincoln penny adds another layer of intrigue. In 1940, America was in the midst of the pre-war years, with tensions rising globally, and the nation's economic landscape was recovering from the Great Depression. The penny was struck during a time when coins were widely circulated and the economy was beginning to stabilize. This era also marked the peak of the Lincoln Wheat Cent series, which would continue until 1958 when it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial Cent. With the production of over 800 million pennies in 1940 alone, the coin's mintage was exceptionally high, meaning that many examples are still available in circulation, contributing to its continued relevance. Even in circulated or dirty condition, the 1940 Lincoln Wheat penny can hold a surprising market value, especially with its S mint mark. While it's far from being one of the rarest coins in the series, the value of this penny can climb substantially when it is sold at auction or to a specialized collector. Coins in circulated condition still retain a decent value, and the specific mint mark adds to their allure. It's important to note that collectors value the unique characteristics of each coin, and a penny from 1940 with an S mint mark, even in dirty condition, can fetch anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 at auction, depending on the specific condition and buyer demand. However, the real value for this coin emerges when it is in better conditions, such as fine, very fine, or even higher grades, where values can skyrocket into the thousands of dollars. The value in circulated condition is driven by the inherent rarity of the coin, the historical importance of the year, and the specific mint mark. Additionally, collectors are drawn to the coin's association with the design's original artist, Victor David Brenner, and the lasting impact of Lincoln's image on American currency. The presence of the S mint mark and the coin's condition, while not pristine, still commands a market that is willing to pay a premium for a piece of American numismatic history. This particular penny represents an important era in coin collecting, where collectors are increasingly looking for specific years and mint marks to complete their collections. While the 1940 Lincoln Wheat penny, with the S mint mark in circulated, dirty condition, may not be the most glamorous coin in terms of appearance, its historical significance, association with the Lincoln series, and collector demand can drive its market value up to $200,000 or more. In a well-preserved state, its price can reach far higher amounts, making it a coin with significant potential for future value appreciation. Next on our list is the 1941 Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark, which is yet another important coin in the history of American coinage. This coin is part of the same series as the 1940 penny, but with one major difference. It was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, as indicated by the lack of a mint mark. The Lincoln Wheat Cent series is widely regarded as one of the most iconic and easily recognizable coin series in American history. And the 1941 penny is no exception. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series, designed by Victor David Brenner, first appeared in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Over the years, the design of the coin evolved, but the fundamental elements remained the same, with a portrait of Lincoln on the obverse and the wheat sheaves on the reverse. The 1941 penny, like the 1940 edition, features this classic design, which has become synonymous with the idea of American coins. The historical context of the 1941 penny is fascinating. This coin was minted during a pivotal time in American history, just 1 year before the United States would enter World War II, following the attack on Pearl Harbor. The world was experiencing dramatic shifts, and the American economy was still recovering from the effects of the Great Depression. The 1941 penny represents a time of stability for the U.S. government and the nation's coinage. Despite being produced in large quantities, the 1941 Lincoln penny has stood the test of time, and collectors have shown great interest in this coin for its connection to the wartime period and its iconic design. Although the 1941 Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark was produced in larger numbers than many other pennies, it remains a desirable coin, especially when found in good condition. The mintage of the 1941 penny was well over 1 billion coins, so it is not rare in the traditional sense. However, this does not mean it lacks collector interest. On the contrary, the 1941 penny is a key piece for many collectors trying to complete a set of Lincoln wheat cents. Despite its widespread circulation, the demand for coins from this era, including the 1941 penny, has remained strong over the years. In circulated condition, this coin may not fetch as much as it would in higher grades, but it still holds significant value in the numismatic community. The 1941 Lincoln penny in circulated condition can command a price in the range of $1,500 to $3,000 at auction, depending on its specific wear, surface condition, and other factors that may appeal to collectors. As is the case with many other coins in the Lincoln Wheat Cent series, the key factors influencing its value are the coin's condition, historical relevance, and demand from collectors. The 1941 Lincoln penny is also notable because it represents a transitional period in U.S. coinage. The coin was produced during a time when the American economy was shifting and preparing for war, and it is often seen as a symbol of that transitional period. While it is not as rare or as highly prized as some other coins in the Lincoln Wheat Cent series, it holds an important place in American numismatic history. As a result, collectors continue to seek it out, and it remains an essential coin for anyone collecting the Lincoln Wheat Cent series. Next up, the 1942 Lincoln Wheat penny with a D-error mint mark is one of the most sought-after coins in the entire series of American coinage, both for its rarity and for its exceptional historical context. The Lincoln Wheat penny, first minted in 1909, became a key part of the U.S. economy, serving as the nation's smallest denomination and circulating widely among the American public. Its design, a portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, was created by Victor David Brenner, and the reverse featured 2 stalks of wheat, symbolizing America's agricultural roots. This simple yet iconic design would go on to define the penny for decades, earning it a place in the hearts of collectors and the everyday pocket of Americans. The 1942 coin stands out in a sea of ordinary pennies due to its significant rarity and the error mint mark present. Initially, 1942 was the final year of production for the classic wheat penny before the transition to the memorial cent in 1959. What makes the 1942 penny so exceptional is the particular minting error on a small number of the coins, which involves a D mint mark that was incorrectly placed during production. The mint mark, which should have been placed on the obverse side of the coin, was mistakenly applied too close to the lower right side of Lincoln's portrait, creating a D error. This is a particularly rare and fascinating mistake, and it instantly made these coins more desirable to collectors who specialize in errors or who are passionate about Lincoln's legacy. As far as the mintage is concerned, approximately 1.2 billion 1942 Lincoln wheat pennies were produced in total, with the majority coming from the Philadelphia and Denver mints. However, the exact number of 1942 pennies with the D error is far lower, with estimates suggesting that only a small number of these error coins were ever released into circulation, making them incredibly rare and highly sought after by collectors today. In fact, the 1942 large date with a D error mint mark is regarded as one of the most expensive and desirable wheat pennies to own, with coins in fine circulated condition commanding prices in the hundreds of thousands of dollars at auction. Today, the value of a 1942 Lincoln wheat penny with a D error mint mark in fine condition can exceed $200,000 at auction. The exact price depends on various factors, such as the condition of the coin, its level of wear, and how well it has been preserved. The more pristine the coin, the higher its market value will be, as collectors are always looking for coins in the best possible shape to add to their collections. This extraordinary price tag is a direct reflection of both the rarity of the coin and the strong collector interest in error coins from the U.S. Mint. As more people become interested in numismatics and coin collecting, coins like the 1942 Lincoln wheat penny with a D error will only increase in value, making them a solid investment for those looking to enter the market. Collectors are drawn to this coin not only for its error, but also because of the historical context surrounding the period in which it was minted. The early 1940s were a time of great upheaval for the United States, as the nation had just entered World War II. Many of the country's resources were being redirected toward the war effort, and the U.S. Mint was under great pressure to produce coins quickly and efficiently. It is likely that the error occurred due to the haste and stress placed on the minting process during this time, which makes it all the more fascinating to collectors. In addition to its error, the 1942 Lincoln wheat penny also holds significance due to the historical and political climate of the time. Abraham Lincoln, whose image graced the coin, was a central figure in U.S. history and continued to be a symbol of unity during a time of division. As America faced its most challenging conflict in history, the Lincoln penny served as a reminder of the nation's past struggles and its commitment to preserving liberty and democracy. This connection to the broader historical context only enhances the coin's appeal and adds another layer of meaning for collectors. One of the primary reasons that collectors covet the 1942 Lincoln wheat penny with a D error mint mark is its extreme rarity. Unlike other coins, which may have thousands or even millions of examples in circulation, the 1942 penny with the error mint mark is much harder to find. It is estimated that only a handful of these coins were ever produced and made it into the hands of collectors and the general public. As a result, the coin has become a prized possession for serious numismatists, with only a few lucky individuals able to claim ownership. This coin's collector value continues to grow with each passing year, as more people recognize the significance of owning such a rare piece of American history. The combination of its error, its historical context. Next up, the 1946 Lincoln wheat penny is another coin that holds immense value for collectors, particularly when it features the rare S mint mark error. The Lincoln wheat penny, produced between 1909 and 1958, is one of the most iconic and historically significant coins in American history. Its design, created by Victor David Brenner, features the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a revered figure in American politics, on the obverse. The reverse design, with two stalks of wheat, symbolizes the country's agricultural heritage. While the 1946 issue was part of the final years of the wheat penny's production, it continues to be a highly sought-after coin, especially when it exhibits rare mint errors, like the one found on some of the 1946 pennies. The 1946 Lincoln wheat penny with an S error mint mark is a particularly rare and valuable find, especially in a condition that might be described as red color rusty. The S mint mark refers to coins minted at the San Francisco Mint, and the error occurred when the mint mark was incorrectly placed or misstruck during production. While many of these errors are minor and go unnoticed, some collectors prize them as unique pieces of numismatic history. The error is often subtle, but it significantly increases the coin's collector value because of its rarity and the small number of such misstruck coins in circulation. This particular error is often associated with coins that have a more worn or rusty appearance, as these were frequently handled and circulated. The 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny was minted in relatively large quantities, with more than 200 million of these pennies produced in total. However, only a very small portion of these coins came with the S mint mark error, which makes them incredibly rare and highly collectible. Because of its scarcity and the error involved, this coin has become a prized possession among collectors of Lincoln Wheat pennies and those focused on mint errors specifically. The 1946 Lincoln penny with the S error mint mark is not only valuable due to the rarity of the error itself, but also because it was produced during a period of significant economic recovery following World War II. In this way, the coin represents a time of optimism and renewal for the United States as it emerged from the war. The value of a 1946 Lincoln Wheat penny with an S mint mark error in circulated red rusty condition can reach astronomical prices, particularly when the coin is sold at auction. Due to its historical context, unique error, and relative scarcity, these pennies have been known to fetch anywhere between $250,000 and $300,000, depending on their specific condition and other market factors. The higher the grade of the coin, the more valuable it becomes. Even in circulated less than perfect condition, a 1946 penny with this error is considered a significant find by collectors, especially given its historical context and rarity. The S error in the 1946 Lincoln Wheat penny makes it one of the most desired coins for serious numismatists and collectors who specialize in mint errors. The coin's increased value stems from the rarity of finding such an error on a coin of this period. While many coins from the mid-20th century are fairly common and easily found in circulation, the 1946 Lincoln penny with an S mint mark error is much harder to find. It is estimated that only a small percentage of the total 1946 production was affected by this error, making these coins extremely rare and highly coveted in the numismatic world. The historical context of the 1946 Lincoln Wheat penny adds to its allure. Produced just after World War II, the 1946 coin symbolizes a moment of rebuilding and growth in the United States. The country was experiencing a post-war economic boom, and the end of the conflict brought with it a sense of hope and optimism for the future. The coin's connection to this pivotal period in American history only enhances its value, making it a powerful symbol of both the past and the future. Collectors and investors continue to seek out the 1946 Lincoln Wheat penny with the S mint mark error, and as interest in numismatics continues to grow, so too will the value of these extraordinary coins. For those who are fortunate enough to own one of these coins, they possess not only a rare and valuable piece of U.S. history, but also an important investment that has the potential to appreciate in value over time. Whether you are a seasoned collector or a newcomer to the world of coins, owning a 1946 Lincoln Wheat penny with an S-era mint mark is a prestigious and highly rewarding experience. Let's begin with the next coin in our journey, the most expensive and rare 1944 Abraham Lincoln. Wheat 1 cent, large date, without a mint mark in black color and dirty circulated condition. This coin is one of the most interesting pieces in the world of coin collecting, and its value in today's auction market can easily reach values of up to $200,000 or even more. The 1944 Lincoln Wheat, 1 cent. A detailed look. Before we delve into the specifics of this particular 1944 Lincoln Wheat cent, it's essential to understand its historical context. The Lincoln Wheat cent was first introduced in 1909, and it became one of the most iconic coins of its time. Designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner, the obverse features a portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse displays two wheat stalks framing the denomination. The simplicity and elegance of the design made it instantly recognizable, and it remained in circulation for decades until it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial Cent in 1959. The year 1944 is especially significant because of the circumstances surrounding World War II. The United States was engaged in the war effort, and the minting process for many coins was heavily affected by shortages of certain metals. In fact, the 1944 cent is particularly notable because it was struck primarily in steel, with some of the older wartime coins being made from a zinc-coated steel. The return to copper in 1944 marked a return to standard coinage after the war effort. However, this shift was not without its complications, and a number of mistakes in production, like the large date variety, caused significant interest among collectors. The 1944 Lincoln wheat cent, in circulated black color and dirty condition, particularly the large date variety, stands out among the crowd. The large date designation refers to the size of the numerals on the coin's date, which are noticeably larger than on other years of the same coin. For most years, the Lincoln wheat cent had a standard date size, but in 1944, the mint produced some coins with larger digits that have become a point of focus for collectors. But what really sets this coin apart is the condition it's in, especially when it comes to the black color, dirty circulated state. In numismatic terms, this refers to the coin's wear and tarnish, which often add to the historical intrigue of a coin. Though this condition doesn't match the pristine, graded pieces that fetch the highest prices, it adds a sense of mystery and character to the piece. Many collectors find these dirty coins to be more valuable because of their story. They could have seen many years of circulation, pass through countless hands, and yet still survive to tell their tale. Coins in this condition are typically valued less than uncirculated or high-grade examples, but their historical value is undeniable. These coins, despite being worn and dirty, provide a window into the past. In terms of mintage, 1944 Lincoln wheat cents are among the more common coins in the series. The U.S. Mint struck over 1.1 billion 1944 cents, so one might wonder how such a coin could fetch such an extraordinary price. Well, rarity doesn't just come from mintage numbers alone. The key factor here is not just the overall number of coins produced, but the quality of the surviving examples and the collector interest in variations like the large date and the coin's condition. While most 1944 cents are in relatively poor condition with heavy circulation marks, the unique features of the large date variety give it a special place in the hearts of collectors. The 1944 large date cent has become an almost mythical coin, with few surviving in relatively good condition. Those that have made it to the modern-day market and are in even moderately acceptable circulated condition, especially with an appearance like black color tarnish or dirt, have become sought-after treasures. There is a specific group of collectors who focus on Lincoln wheat cents, and they consider the 1944 large date to be one of the most intriguing coins in the series. With its distinctive date size, the coin has captivated the imagination of people who love the history of coinage. The combination of historical significance, the end of the war, the minting of pennies with both steel and copper content during the war, and the rarity of surviving examples, particularly in dirty or circulated condition, makes this coin an exciting addition to any collection. However, it's not just the design and the condition that make this coin valuable, it's also the demand for it. The Lincoln wheat cent series, which includes coins from 1909 to 1958, is one of the most actively collected series in the United States. With that interest comes the demand for particular rare variations, such as the 1944 large date. Even though it's not one of the rarest in terms of mintage, it's one of the most highly coveted by collectors. The dirty black color adds another level of collector fascination. Coins that are more worn have been exposed to the elements, or are in tarnished condition often have more stories attached to them. This patina effect can actually increase the value of certain coins, as it tells the story of the coin's journey through history. Collectors who are interested in obtaining pieces with a history beyond simply a minting date are often drawn to these coins for their unique characteristics. Auction houses and private sales regularly see high values for coins of this type, with some auction results topping $100,000 for coins in this specific condition. Why? It's the combination of factors: the rarity of the large date variety, the historical context, and the desire to own a tangible piece of history. The market for these coins is robust, and collectors who are willing to pay top dollar for the right example are often those who have a deep appreciation for the story behind the coin. As more time passes, and fewer of these coins remain in circulation, the demand continues to rise, making this one of the most valuable and sought-after pieces in the coin collecting community.